Are you ready for a haunting Halloween video? I am so excited because every year I bring my coven in and we go through a fun cauldron of makeup that is either to die for or a nightmare. But this year is slightly different because this is makeup that has either ghosted me or I maybe have ghosted it. These are going to be makeup pieces that I have forgotten about, haven't used, have been sitting in the drawers completely untouched. And today I'm going to put them on my face to put together a little bit of a spooky pumpkin-y type makeup look because today is also the chosen one's birthday. Do you want to know who the chosen one is? Hey, big boy. It's Cooper's birthday. Halloween happens to be Cooper's birthday. And yes, my friends, we are going to go all out for it. For Cooper's Halloween birthday, I want to be a little glowy this holiday, and I want to be pumpkin glam. But I'm going to be doing that with products that I have not, some of them never touched. Literally never touched. And some of them ghosted me because I'm not sure if they worked. Let's start with this that I've had in my collection for a while. This is the Fenty Pro Filter Primer. I think this is supposed to be a little glowy. Ooh, look at her drip like blood. We love to see it. That might be too much for my face, but let's find out. I am filming this early in the morning, at dawn, as the witches like to say, because the rest of the fam is asleep right now, except for me and Cooper, because we're up at the butt crack of dawn with a cauldron of brew, so I hope you have yours as well. I did an incantation on it so it looks like clear. It's not anything too spirited. Okay, it's just water. This really doesn't do much for my big bossy pores that we all know that I have, but it should make me glowy. Like I said, I think it's ghosted my face quite a few times, but for some reason, she's still in the collection. So let's see if she pulls her weight today. I don't think I've ever used this product, but this is going to help me glow like a ghost. I think, possibly, maybe. This is the Typology Illuminator with vitamin C. It's a glow drop. So I'm gonna start this at the base before I put on the next steps, hoping that's gonna give me that inner glow. It's a little spell we're doing. I'm gonna focus on the areas that I know I'm going to be accentuating later. Maybe that was too much, maybe it was just enough. The good news is this is for a Halloween special. So if we look a little ghastly, it was clearly part of the design. I think I'm gonna add a little more up here. Where I live, there is a whole street that shuts down for Cooper's birthday, also known as Halloween, and there are vendors lining the streets. There are other canines. It's a fabulous time. So that's where we're going today for Cooper's birthday. I'm going to rest my witching witch face here and allow everything to set for a moment. Ooh, I look as pale as a ghost, but I'm glowing like one too. Next, I'm going to be popping into a potion that I have not used in months and months, many moons, but I do think I may have liked it at some point. I hope so, because I'm going to be wearing it all day. This is the AOA Perfect BB Cream. I don't want a heavy coverage, but I want enough coverage for the next steps I have planned. Wonder if this is going to be too dark for this pale witch right now. I don't know. I hear the hounds outside already super excited to howl for Cooper's birthday. If you hear them too, you can howl back. It's fine. Ooh, I actually think this is doing a pretty good job of covering some of my imperfections. As many of you know, my Halloween special is one of my favorites. I've been doing it for over 5 years, I do believe. And I don't know if I've ever mentioned that it's truly in celebration of Cooper. I think the initial set down is nice, but I'm trying to recall if this ghosts me midday. I just went to the back of the concealer drawer because I wanted something a little heavier right under the eyes for this particular look. I would not do this normally these days, but the 2017 Nichole would have loved this incantation of the Too Faced Born This Way multi-use concealer because she loved to erase the under eyes completely. I'm going to personally today be using it as a base for what we're going to be doing, and maybe help cover up some of these little bumpy monsters called perimenopausal acne. I could definitely say I've ghosted this because I don't know if I'm smelling it or if I'm just not used to it anymore. Oh my goodness, I forgot the power of this. I could probably have used less than this. Wow, this stuff really does just make everything disappear, and it brightens. Might be adding that back into my bag of tricks and treats when a girl is tired. We're gonna call that a treat, not a trick this year. This is where Nichole's instincts are going to be rejected, because at this point, in a normal day-to-day makeup, I would go in with a creamy bronzer contour to carve out some things like a pumpkin would. However, that's not the look we're going for today. So instincts be damned, we're going to be going another route, and I'm going to be popping into two pricey powders that I haven't touched in probably years. I'm still not sure. You know, I know how these have passed declutters. They're expensive and I paid for them myself. The Laura Mercier powders that were coveted for years. So I have the translucent and the glow. I think this is the glow. I bought a big thing of the glow and I've barely touched it. And the translucent regular. So I'm going to use these to make my face be hopefully creamy and glowy, not crepey and cakey. We're going to use the regular translucent for, well, should I use it at all? I'll do a little. We need to experiment. We'll grab a wand, dip into the potion-y powder, tap, 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 tap. We have to get some of that off because that's gonna be way too much cake face. That out and go in with a little bit of this translucent powder around the eyes. Little up here on the forehead. Let's get ready to glow like a ghost or a goblin. You can pick your monster of choice. Stippling this a little all over. Adding a bit more because I now want to aim in the areas that I'm going to be accentuating in the mid-face region. This is the part where we can get excited for adding in some spookiness. Normally I would go right into the brows because I don't like to look like I have no brows, but we're gonna add them later, I think, because this look is going to challenge my personal beliefs in where product should live on the face, especially when it's reflecting like a blushy look. I have said for years, many moons, I do not like when blush comes up and around to the eyes, but that has become a very serious trend that has been brought back from the 80s for the Gen Zers that don't know that. So I'm gonna be doing something like that today, which is a little anti-instinctual, but I hope it comes through for the final look. Let's let the play develop and see how this goes. Products that I have pulled out to create this part of the look are things I have drug up from the depths of my collection because I have forgotten them, but they're all in pieces. So I'm going to be going into the Ofra Head in the Clouds palette for this particular piece right here to start it. I'm gonna be wiping off the brush that I used the glowy powder with, and I'm gonna be using that to see if that can help things along a little. I've never done a look like this, so I don't know if my strategy is going to work or fail. Gosh, this is everything I have said I don't like to do. Ghouls help me. So this Ofra blush, I can say, since I probably have never touched this color, is doing what I wanted it to, but I could also see how deeper complexion than me could love this as a blush. I could see that. I've never touched it before. We have to go over this gourd of a pimple over here too. I'm gonna be going into the orbital socket. Oh, what have I done? Keep calm, carry a wand, carry on, blend, 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 blend. I don't know if I have the perfect shades for everything, to be honest, so this is going to be a bit of a witchin' trial here. Not that a witch has ever gotten a fair trial, but that's another story, isn't it? We're gonna go into the Ofra Miami palette, the mini mix, and I'm gonna go into this bit of a terracotta shade here, just to do a little richening up, and a little bit of blending around the very boldness. This is also where I'm going to start some nose makeup, just on the tip. I have to say, this is also very buildable. Ofra powders are a little slept on these days because this is actually blending beautifully. I could wear this for a day-to-day look. Well, not this, but this. This part has me nervous because I know the formula of this is stunning. I have worn it in Halloween videos past, but then outside of Halloween, I never grab this. Who remembers this massive palette that's as big as my head? The ABH Norvina palette. This is volume 3. And we have some bright oranges in here that we're going to be jumping into. I've ghosted these. This doesn't ghost anyone. This stays all day. I have unfortunately ghosted it. We're gonna go into A3 before we get into these bolder shades because I'm scared. If we're gonna be honest, I know how bold these are. I'm a bit of a scaredy witch. I wish we were more into colorful shadows in today's looks, but we're just not. But what I can say is when this does come back, I will be ready. But I don't think going to work in a look like this would probably not get a few stares. We're now to the point I think I could add some brows, but we're not done with this, don't worry. This little incantation is the e.l.f. Holy Brows, and it's a fine stroke pen. However, it comes out so finely, some people think it does nothing, but it's because they're not allowing the magic to happen. It's a fine pen, so you have to be mindful with it. I do it in upward strokes with the grain, and it does such fine strokes. If you're looking for a super bold look, you may miss it, or if you have anything else down at first, you may miss it. But it builds beautifully. I do think this product takes a little warming up because at first it really did make me believe there wasn't much there. But there is a full theme to this magic spell. You just have to know the right patience and maybe a little bit of an incantation, but it's there. And it really helps things to look super natural. You can't tell me you don't notice a difference. You cannot tell me, you cannot. I'm going to get a little bold and go into this super bright orange here. I have, oh, is it bozo or is it pumpkin? I don't know. This could be a grave mistake, but we're going for it. Ooh. If this stains my skin, I only have myself to blame. The thing about boldness is, if you're doing a costume of sorts, it needs to be more bold than maybe you think in person, so people at a distance can see it coming versus is it blush? Is it the look? We want it to be the look. Blending this in with the eyes to the cheeks. To really put this makeup to the test, we're gonna go into the most pumpkin-y neon orange shade. I'm so nervous. This is giving a deeper color that could be a little misconstrued with a pink hue. So I'm probably gonna go over the top of this to pull out the orange. Although on camera it looks super orange. In person it looks a little bit more of a coral base to it maybe. But in camera, wow. I think I have the perfect piece to go on top of these and start an accent potentially below the eye. I received this amazing Nomad Cosmetics Witch City Salem Intense Color Palette, which is exactly what we need today. Look at their packaging. I mean, could it be any cooler? I am wanting and craving this shimmer. We need this on us. Do we need this one or this one? Witching Hour? Which one? We probably need them both. We'd need them both. Start with the darkest shade. Oh my coolness. Oh, that's gonna bring the orange back to this. In person, we're gonna take away that terracotta and just make it glow. Oh, look at this. Oh. And then we'll go in with the lighter shade. Oh my gosh. Do you see this? I cannot get over this. Oh, this is the part that I just cannot get down with, which is probably why instinctually I couldn't do it. For the boos and the looks and for the Coopers. Really, this is all for Cooper. Let's be real. I always avoid the under eye with a blushy color like the plague. And I've avoided the plague since 2020. Speaking of ghosted, all of my black liquid liners have ghosted me. I literally not have a single one in my collection. So I had to go with something that hasn't ghosted me, obviously. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I'm going to take a white liner. Liners in general kind of get ghosted in my beauty collection, but the whites tend to stay, but I rarely touch them. Is it because they're transparently ghostly ghouly and I just overlook them? Do we walk past these haunting halls of makeup and just forget about the staples that really raised us in makeup, because a lot of us couldn't live without a white liner back in the day? So I'm going to resurrect this and try to create something a little unique here. I'm going to use this as a guideline and a base for some ghoulish fun to come. I'm gonna see what else I have in my collection of nomads that have been ghosted because I can't even remember. That's how ghosted they are. Nomad Berlin palette. I just found this creamy dreamy shimmer, and we know that their shimmers come to play. So I'm going to take my brush that I've been using a lot of my oranges just to marry it here, and use that also as a bit of a base. This feels like a solid base for what I'm going for, but I feel like I need just that next level of something there. It's hard to know what you've ghosted to pull back out what you've ghosted, because you don't sometimes know what you've ghosted. Did you follow all that? Urban Decay sent me over a Sunshine Tax. Well, they sent over a bunch of these individual glazed eyeshadows. So I want to see, can this really liven this up? I want a little different texture, I think. So this could be the move. And I honestly have not touched it. The packaging is giving potion, so I think this could be the move. You know what this look may need? I've covered up my own, but I think I know a spell to help me with this Halloween festive look. Sun Kisses. And now we have some nice little spots. Now, speaking of ghosted, I unfortunately have had a bit of a scare where my lashes have fully ghosted me. And what do I mean by that? I was really gravely sick like a month ago, and I had a lot of shedding because I wasn't getting an appropriate amount of nutrition. You know how we need to be getting in our dead man's toes and the toads in general that we need to be eating, consuming to keep our lives going. Also, I don't think I've been sucking the lives out of enough children. I think that's also my problem. However, I have a huge bald spot that is slowly growing back in my eyelashes. So I've had to be very, very careful with them lately. So I'm gonna be looking into some mascaras that maybe liven up these lashes, because right now they are not the move. I have been using a special potion. Do not fret. I have been using a potion every morning, one in the morning and one at night, to help regrow them, along with working on sucking the lives out of children. So, you know, we do what we can. 2 mascaras that are still okay to use, I think. We have a Sigma and we have a House Labs. Let's see. They've kind of been, I try not to ghost these too much, because we all know what can happen if we have expired mascara. No good things come from that. The Sigma, I do believe, has a wand that could grab some lashes. At least that's its job. You have one job. I'm contemplating putting on falsies today, to be perfectly honest, but I'm also nervous about that since I've had such a shed of lashes. I don't want to pull out accidentally anything else. I like how this separates and elongates. However, I do find it a little lackluster. So I'm going to also go in with the House Labs to see if I can liven these up, lengthen them up. Oh, I think that might be working. We love a double spell. Now friends, as we enter the final phase, we go into the lips. And Nomad sent me 3 different Halloween lippies that I just don't know will go with this look. But for the sake of fun and, you know, a couple of treats, I wanted to see if anything could work. I don't remember what they look like though. So this one is Witching Hour. Oh, look at that spell. How did they do that? I just may want to see what it looks like. This is the Devil's Book. Oh, wow. And this one is Hocus Pocus. Oh, wow. They've really outdone themselves. You know, purple could go with orange. I kind of want to see what this looks like though. Let's see. Like a golden topper. But I don't know if it goes with this, and I kind of want to see what the purple looks like. I mean, I don't know when else I would wear something like this except for All Hallows Eve, also known as Cooper's birthday. There's going to still be glitter. It's Halloween. I don't know if this was a grave mistake or not. I have to say their lipsticks are really creamy. They're going on like a dream. They're very buttery and hydrating. So if you're curious about their bullet lippies in general, I do believe I recommend. I love the creaminess and the hydration I'm getting from this bullet lippy. Now with the color work, it's not exactly what I had in mind, but I could make an argument for it. I'm not gonna lie, because purple and orange clearly are Halloween festivity fun. I can't promise I won't put this back on, but I wanna see one other look. There is a product in here I've also ghosted that I've had for a long time and loved from Fenty. This terracotta shade would go beautifully with today's look, and it's originally what I had for my inspo and what I had in mind. I do think that the purple is staining the lips. Not that we didn't think it wouldn't, but let's just see what it would look like as a combination. That could be a base. Well, it'll have to be. Oh my goodness, this is such a creamy, dreamy formula. And with that darker base, it actually looks really good with this. I think we accidentally stumbled into an amazing potion for the lips. That dark base really let this shine. And this formula of this Fenty little lippy is so good. So good. I think I told you it's in the shade Single. Okay, I'm living for this. I really want some false lashes right now. The struggle is real when you're a witch that is balding at the lashes right now. Greater good, greater good, greater good. I've been changed for good. I need to let the lashes grow. Sorry, ghouls. Okay, ghouls and goblins. This is the final look, and it got a little glowier as the light started to come out because the sun has risen and we can really see the glow in this. We can see the glam, we can see the sun kisses, we can see all of the things, and I think this is so much fun. I didn't even remember that I could appropriately accessorize. But here we are. I think this has been so much fun to go through with my friends for the Halloween season. I hope you enjoyed this Halloween special with some ghosted products that unfortunately I have been ghosting, and they have proven to be pretty amazing. Some things just didn't fit the look, but I am so here for this. It makes me want to dive further into my cauldron of goodness, actually, because it is for good that I have gone through all of these things and seen how great they are. I don't think we have many bad products in here. It's just things that have been ghosted through time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a safe but spooky Halloween season, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, ghouls!